My friend, listen to me carefully. There are moments in life when everything seems slow, silent, and still. You pray, but nothing changes. You work, but you see no results. You believe, yet things look the same. And you begin to wonder, God, when will my time come? But what you don't realize is that many times, right before God shifts you into sudden victory, He allows a season that feels like nothing is happening. Silence is not absence, it is preparation. Delay is not denial, it is divine timing. And today, I want to show you powerful signs that prove God is shifting you from waiting to sudden victory. When these signs appear, heaven is aligning something supernatural. Doors begin to move. Angels begin to fight. Favor starts preparing a seat for you. When God decides it is your time, nothing, no devil, no delay, no opposition can stop the shift. God doesn't need permission to bless you. He only needs timing. And when the time comes, He turns years of waiting into moments of victory. Let's go deeper. Sign 1. Before every major breakthrough, pressure rises. You feel emotional weight, spiritual battles, unusual attacks, sudden discouragement, even things that were simple become difficult. But this is not a sign that God has left you. This is a sign that God is close to lifting you. The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows something is about to shift. Pressure is proof that the blessing is near. Sign 2. God begins to separate you from distance. When God is preparing sudden victory, He begins removing people, habits, and environments that do not match your next level. You may feel isolated, alone, disconnected. But isolation is not punishment, it is divine protection. God cannot elevate you while you are surrounded by voices that confuse you. He separates you so He can shape you. He disconnects you so He can direct you. Sign 3, you next PCDida ALLGMS star PPR. NG, right before sudden victory. Doors begin to open that you didn't knock on. Opportunities appear that you didn't chase. People show up who want to help you without expecting anything in return. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine alignment. When God says, "Now is your time," He arranges everything perfectly. He accelerates what once moved slowly. He shifts you from waiting for years to receiving in moments. Your sudden victory is not coming, it is being prepared. And when God shifts you, it will be fast, unexpected, undeniable, and supernatural. Waiting seasons are not wasted. God uses them for preparation. Sikhed. There are seasons in life where you pray, you hope, you work, and still nothing seems to move. You look around and see other people accelerating, receiving opportunities, stepping into blessings, while your life feels paused as if God has placed you on a holding pattern. But what you must understand is this: a waiting season is never a wasted season when God is involved. God does some of His greatest work in silence. He strengthens you when you can't see Him. He matures you when you feel nothing happening. He builds your character, shapes your spirit, and develops your capacity, because what He is preparing to give you requires a stronger, wiser, more focused version of you. Waiting is not punishment, it is protection. God holds back certain things because He knows that blessing you too early can be just as dangerous, not blessing you at all. He allows delays to teach you discipline, to sharpen your discernment, to deepen your patience, and to break off the things in you that would sabotage your next level. In the waiting, God stretches you. He teaches you how to trust Him when you don't have answers, how to depend on Him when life feels uncertain, and how to stay faithful when results are hidden. Every prayer you prayed in tears, every moment you stayed strong when you wanted to quit, every silent night where you whispered, "God, I trust you," none of it was ignored. Heaven records everything. The waiting season is where God prepares your mind so you can think on a higher level. It's where He prepares your heart so you can handle greater responsibility. It's where He builds your humility so that when promotion comes, it doesn't destroy you. People may only see the blessing when it appears suddenly, but they will never see the spiritual work God was doing in you privately. Waiting seasons refine you. They separate what is temporary from what is truly valuable. They teach you what matters. They purify your motives. They remove the distractions that slow you down. And most importantly, they prepare you to appreciate the victory that is coming not as something random, but as something you have grown into. Silence from God often means He is working behind the scenes. Don't He? There are moments in your journey when you pray and feel no answer, when you seek God and feel no response, when you cry out and all you hear is silence. This silence can feel confusing, discouraging, and even painful. You begin to wonder if God heard you, if He cares, or if you have somehow been forgotten. But the truth is far deeper. God's silence is often the strongest signal that He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. When God is silent, He is not ignoring you. He is organizing your breakthrough. He is rearranging circumstances, positioning people, shifting environments, opening the right doors, and closing the wrong ones. He is preparing the blessing in a way that will not only meet your need, but also protect your future. God's silence is strategic, it is intentional, it is purposeful. Think about a seed buried in the ground. While it is hidden, there is no movement visible from the outside, no leaves, no sprouts, no signs of life. But under the soil, transformation is happening. Roots are forming, strength is developing, identity is being shaped, and soon what was hidden will break through the surface. That is exactly how God works in your silent seasons. He is growing you underground for a victory that will be seen above ground. Silence is also where God tests your faith, not to punish you, but to strengthen you. When God stops speaking, it forces you to rely on what He already said. It pushes you to walk not by what you feel, but by what you know. It teaches you to trust His character, even when you cannot trace His hand. Faith doesn't grow when everything is clear. Faith grows when nothing makes sense, yet your heart still says, God is with me. In times of silence, God is training you for what you've been praying for. He is preparing your spirit to handle the weight of the blessing. He is deepening your endurance, sharpening your vision, and building spiritual maturity. He knows that sudden victory requires a certain level of strength, and He develops that strength when you cannot hear Him. God's silence often comes right before divine movement. Just because you don't see results doesn't mean He isn't working. Many times, the quietest seasons are the most active seasons spiritually. Angels are being assigned. Paths are being cleared. Opportunities are being prepared. The very thing you asked for may be just one shift away, hidden under the veil of silence, where God completes. Pressure increases before promotion because the enemy senses your elevation, but right before God shifts you into a season of sudden victory, you will often experience a rise in spiritual, emotional, and mental pressure. It feels like everything begins to intensify at the same time. Unexpected challenges show up. Old problems resurface. People misunderstand you, and life becomes heavier than usual. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual indication that your elevation is close, and the enemy knows it. Pressure is a sign that something in the spiritual realm is breaking open. The enemy can sense when God is preparing to promote you because your obedience, your growth, and your faith have started interfering with His plans. The closer you get to breakthrough, the more threatened He becomes. That's why battles increase before blessings. That's why attacks feel stronger when you are on the edge of a new season. Think about childbirth. The pain intensifies right before delivery. Not because something is going wrong, but because something is about to be born. The same is true spiritually. Your pressure is a sign that your promise is near. When God gets ready to launch you into a higher place, the enemy tries one last time to wear you out, distract you, or discourage you. He wants you to give up right before God shifts everything in your favor. Increased pressure reveals that you are stepping out of an old version of yourself. You are outgrowing environments, relationships, and patterns that no longer match your calling. And the transition between the old and the new always feels tight. When God is moving you to a higher dimension, your spiritual muscles are stretched, your faith is tested, and your patience is refined. The pressure is not destroying you, it is preparing you. Pressure also exposes what needs to be removed before promotion. It reveals weaknesses so God can strengthen them, exposes distractions so God can eliminate them, and uncovers hidden fears so God can replace them with confidence. God will allow certain things to confront you in the pressure because what He is preparing to give you requires resilience, clarity, and spiritual authority. Many people mistake pressure for punishment, when in reality it is proof that God is working. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are valuable, because you are a threat, because heaven has identified you as someone ready for the next level. The enemy doesn't waste energy on those going nowhere. He fights hardest against those who are about to rise. Unusual spiritual attacks are signs of a coming breakthrough. Key. There are times in your life when you begin to experience battles that feel completely out of nowhere. You wake up with heaviness you can't explain. You feel spiritual pressure that doesn't match what's happening around you. Things that were stable suddenly feel shaky. People who were supportive become distant or difficult. Your mind becomes a battlefield, and you begin to fight thoughts, doubts, and fears you never faced before. These moments are not accidental. They are indicators. Unusual attacks often show up when your breakthrough is closer than you realize. The enemy does not attack out of boredom. He attacks because he senses movement. He recognizes that something is shifting around you, something is aligning for you, and something is being released in your favor. Spiritual warfare intensifies when heaven is preparing to open a new door. The enemy understands timing. He sees the signals of God's preparation long before you notice them. He sees the maturity you've gained, the doors aligning in your future, and the divine opportunities being set up. And because he cannot stop God's plan, he tries to stop your confidence, your focus, your peace, and your faith. If he can't block the blessing, he tries to weaken the one who is about to receive it. Unusual attacks also expose the areas where God is strengthening you. You might find yourself battling old wounds, old insecurities, old habits, or old emotional patterns. Not because you're going backwards, but because the enemy wants to reopen doors that God is closing. This is spiritual resistance, not because you are losing ground, but because you are gaining it. The old you is being challenged as the new you is being birthed. Sometimes the attacks come through people conflict, dishonor, betrayal, unexpected drama. Other times they come internally: anxiety, confusion, second guessing yourself. And sometimes they come through circumstances, unexpected delays, financial strain, or sudden obstacles. Each attack is designed to push you into discouragement. But spiritually, these attacks are evidence that you are carrying something valuable. The closer you get to breakthrough, the more the enemy tries to break you. And this is why the attacks feel unusual. They don't match your situation. They don't make logical sense. They feel bigger than the moment you're in, because the enemy isn't fighting you for where you are. He's fighting you for where you're going. He is fighting your future more than your present. He's fighting your purpose, not your current position. These battles are not meant to make you quit. They are meant to awaken you. They are signs that heaven is active around you, that God is preparing movement, and that you are standing on the threshold of something major. Emotional heaviness can be a signal that God is shifting your atmosphere. Hetty, there are seasons when you feel a weight on your heart that you can't explain. You feel tired even when you didn't do much. You feel overwhelmed even when nothing major happened. Your spirit feels sensitive, your emotions feel intense, and even small things affect you more than usual. This heaviness is not weakness, it is spiritual transition. It is a sign that God is shifting your atmosphere and preparing you for a new season. Emotional heaviness often appears when God is lifting you out of an old level. Your spirit recognizes change before your mind does. Long before anything shifts in the physical realm, it begins shifting in the spiritual realm. And when God starts clearing the old, breaking strongholds, removing attachments, and preparing new opportunities, you will feel the weight of that transition internally. Heaviness is sometimes God's way of disconnecting you from what no longer belongs to your future. You start losing interest in things that once excited you. You stop feeling comfortable in places where you once fit. Your spirit becomes uneasy around certain people, certain behaviors, and certain environments. It's not depression, it's divine transformation. You are outgrowing what God is removing. This heaviness is also God cleansing you. Old wounds rise to the surface so they can be healed. Old fears come up so they can be broken. Old mindsets get exposed so they can be replaced. What feels like emotional weight is often the final stage of God preparing you for new strength, new clarity, and new identity. You cannot receive a sudden victory with an old version of yourself. So God begins refining you on the inside. Sometimes the heaviness comes because your spirit is sensing what your eyes cannot see. You feel the pull of a new season. You feel the ending of a chapter. You feel the stirring of something unfamiliar. Your emotions pick up on divine movement long before your circumstances reveal it. This is why you may feel restless, uncomfortable, or unsatisfied in your current situation. Your spirit knows you are being shifted towards something greater. Emotional heaviness also comes when God is protecting you. He may weigh your heart down to slow you down, to keep you from making a wrong move, or to push you into prayer when you would have otherwise ignored the warning signs. Sometimes God allows heaviness to bring you back into alignment, to reconnect you with Him, or to remind you that He is still guiding the process.